The viewpoint and opinions in this project are my own, and they are not affiliated with the GPS. Hey, Manolo, my friend, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are
Good
you?
to see you.
Likewise.
I was waiting for you.
Oh, well, I'm here now.
Yeah.
You said you needed help with something. Tell me, where are we?
Yeah, I was planning to start my own project.
Okay.
And then the Central Asian World Relations.
Central Asian World Relations.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Fascinating. Well, before we dive into that, I want to know more about you, so the audience can learn more about you.
Let's go ahead.
So tell
Let's go
me.
ahead. Yeah, I'm from Uzbekistan. My name is Abdulla. I was born in Tashkent.
Good. Let's walk.
Yeah. Okay.
So tell me about your early life, your education, your family.
Okay. I was in the 9-year school first, more focused on math, and then 3 years in the college, more focused economic and accounting, and then I was 4 years in the bachelor degree in the engineering background on the textile industry. So after all, I moved to China to get my master's degree.
You moved all the way to China.
Yeah, all
Wow.
the way to China.
And tell me about your time there. How'd you like it?
Oh, I like it a lot. I like it a lot. So I started my education there from learning Chinese language for 1 year.
Yeah.
And then I moved to the master's degree. And then I started my education there on the international politics and public management. More focus on the law.
I see. So you've
Yeah.
been studying a lot, and in different areas as well.
Yeah, looks like.
Very nice. So tell me some similarities and differences between your time in Uzbekistan and China.
Oh yeah, there is a lot of differences. A lot of cultural differences, not similarities. Education system, economy, like politics, a lot differences. And yeah, if we say the education system, it might be close to each other. It might be, and but there are a lot of cultural differences. So in Uzbekistan, scientifically and all other sources looks like a different. I felt specifically on the research, how they approach, how they do the research, what they learn, how they learn, administrative, political, and economic, and that was the thing that I learned a lot in China.
And how long were you in China for?
Yeah, I've been living there for 3 years. Yeah.
You were there for 3 years.
Yeah.
And then what happened afterwards?
After that, so I planned to go to the US
Right.
to get the just improve my language, to get the English more higher and bigger. And then when I just moved out to China, all the COVID stuff started. So I moved out in the 2020 January, and then the COVID,
Wow.
and then shut it down, and the China fully shut it down, and I stuck in the US. So
Wow. Well,
That
that
was
sounds
the
like
thing.
there's a lot of experiences there. I think this is a good point where we can end this, and we'll pick it up next time, and you can talk more about your
good job.
experience in the US.
Yeah, let's do it. So see you next time.
See you next time.
Yo.
Okay, my friend.
Yeah,
Nice to see you again.
good to see you.
So let's pick it up where we left off.
Yeah, let's do it.
Tell me, walk me through your experience in the US.
All right, then where we stopped. So I just moved, right? It was January 2020, 17. And then, so as last time, as I said, when I just move in, all the COVID things started, right, in China. So right after me, after 3 days, China shut it down. And I stuck here and I couldn't go back to anywhere. To my country, they also shut it down. To China, shut it down. But there was nothing to do. And then
Right.
I couldn't, it wasn't on my control. So I forced, kinda, I stayed there. Then what happened? At the same time, I came to US to improve my language, my English. That was I planned everything for just 1 month. I stayed in the homestay with American family. Plan was 1 month. My tickets round trip plan was 1 month. So in that case, for the school also, I made the payment only for 1 month. In that case, like after the COVID, so I stuck after 1 month. I decided, okay, so if I'm gonna finish my degree in China, then I'm gonna have the Chinese degree in the political science. And I grew up learning with Russian politics because it's regional. So I do speak the Russian also, so I understand. I knew the region. Also, I speak the Tajik Persian language. They close each other, so I know enough information about the Iran. So east, north, south, everything's cool. And because I'm the US, I decided to get why not, right? Why not to get the second master's degree here in the United States, because of the biggest and one of the nicest and top universities in the United States. Why don't I use that opportunity here, right?
Right.
So in that case, I was in the language school, and I decided, I made a plan that I'm gonna stay in the language, improve my English to get the TOEFL score, and then move to the master's degree. And I wanted to get into the master's degree. That was the plan that I made at 2020, 4 years back, long time. In that time, that was the first move.
And so tell me tell me about these challenges. Like, how did COVID impact your ability to get into school, your social life, all that?
That was tough time because if you remember, the US, America was the most affected by the COVID in general on the statistics. And that time, also all the schools everywhere were closed, and we forced to learn language via online, via Zoom. And then we learned the language via Zoom online, and that was one of the biggest, hardest challenge, because before that we used to get all the traditional classes in person always, right? That was the first challenge that I've been forced to learn English online. That was the first thing. Then where was the other one is after language. So studying online, sitting at home, being bored, and missing your parents, out far away from your home, missing your home country. That all gives together like a biggest challenge together, right, inside, right? So, but I just tried to focus on my studies, focus on the language. I bought a lot of books beside the school. I bought a lot of books from Walmart, and I just kept reading and reading and reading, move and work on my language skills, like watching a lot of Hollywood movies and do the listening part and other things like a TED Ed and TED Education and TED Talk. So I tried to use all the knowledge to get rid of the pressure of everything that emotionally that coming to me, all those challenges. Yeah, that was the thing.
I'm sure that was a very difficult time for you.
Yeah, we lived those times. We passed those times. Now we're here.
We all remember that. It seems like a long time ago, and it's starting to become a long time ago. Almost 4 years ago. Now I'm curious to hear about your process in terms of applying to UCSD. How did you come to decide that that's what you wanted?
Okay.
How did you know it was the right fit for you?
Okay, let's start from why I decided to go to GPS, right? How this process worked. So again, we're gonna go back to the language school, during the language school. So when I was studying there, I did a lot of research. That my background knowledge was close to the international politics, and I went to the U.S. ranking system, and I checked the universities, top universities, their label, their uh, their rank, where they are, and how the schools are stayed on the top. And then I showed me the most powerful international schools in the U.S.
Right.
And I was checking the list. There was a lot of universities: Harvard, Princeton, Yale, Stanford, right, Duke, John Hopkins, international relations. Like, there were a lot of universities, but on the list, on the rack of the 5, there were UCSD, and I shot. I mean, nice, on the nice way. I surprised, let's say, and I saw the UCSD and I saw the name School of Global Policy and Strategy. I said, wow, okay. If I've been living here already couple months and couple years, right? So I knew the place, I know the people. I'm very familiar with the environment, with the climate, with the nature here, and I decided, okay, why not I
Give it a
apply?
shot.
Yeah, give it a shot. Apply for the GPS here. Why should I move, and why should I leave this place, right? So that was my point. I didn't want to leave, and I opened the website of the school, and then I start to familiarize of inside. Like, I said, okay, they're teaching these things, their program like that, and I said, okay, they are really powerful, teaching of Latin America region and the Asian focus, #1 in the United States, and on the 5th of as the international relations of the grad school. I said, there you go. That is what I need. I think that is what my country need nowadays, because we are close borders with those countries, and why don't I learn those regions more, and clearly with the best universities here, focus of U.S. perspective to them. So that was my first plan, and then and I figured that, and I made the plan. I put the rank on top, and then I was in the language school, and then I studied in the language school for 2 years, and I wanted to get the language really, really carefully and clearly, everything step by step, one by one. And after 2 years of spending on my time during the school, I went to the Grossman College. Again, it's here at the El Cajon, located in the El Cajon, Grossman Community College, with the 1-year program, and that was the political science and government major.
Yes.
And I learned there also some of skills that would additionally help me to understand. At the same time, my point was to not going to the graduate school directly from the language to the graduate. I just wanted to see the education system clearly. What is the U.S. education system? How the professors are teaching, and their teaching process, the grading process, in general, everything.
It's a very different culture than what they have elsewhere.
Yeah, exactly the same
Curriculum.
thing. The curriculums, everything, the syllabus, how they do, what they do, how they teach. And I wanted to put myself to adapt the system and give to myself a little bit time to be successful in the graduate school. That's why I went to after language school, I went to the Grossman College for 1 year. I saw everything that I need in the Grossman College and the political science and government major. Excuse me. Then I learned there also with a lot of instructors, like professors. I learned a lot of knowledge when I was there. And what I understand now from our GPS school, very intense programs, very, very hard, and 10-week program, I understand that I did correctly. I did I made the decision very accurate, because now I'm feeling that I did really good practice before coming to the school.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's something that a lot of people might really appreciate, because it's certainly this tradition to go directly from your studies to postgraduate studies, and it doesn't have to be like that. you can always take a year or two to understand the culture that you're going in, to understand the system, the curriculum, and prepare for it.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm glad you share that experience, because some of our listeners might not necessarily know what it entails, the challenges that they must meet. So I think that's a very helpful way to put it. And I think that we've reached all that we have to up to this point. And next point, I next time we meet, I want to hear more about your project and what it entails, the format. So I look forward to seeing you next time.
Sure. Yeah, we're gonna move on under that. Yeah.
Perfect.
Hey, good to
Hello,
see
my
you.
friend. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Let's
So-
get started.
Let's go.
So tell me about this project that you're working on.
The project is I named with the Central Asia and world relations. So I named by that, and this is the thing: the Central Asia and world relations. And during this program, we're here, we're at GPS at UCSD, and I just wanted to bring my country's culture, not only my country, like all the brother Central Asian countries. So in that case, what I want to bring with this small project, all the recent geopolitical happenings. So this is the thing: what's happening in the Central Asia, what's happening in the other brother countries, what's happening in the world, and what is the connection, and what would be the effects or side effects to the Central Asian countries. And we're gonna try to take a look or give focus from out here, like from our background, from our research, from our papers, right? We're learning a lot of things here, a lot of things. So this is the thing I was thinking about before, and we had to talk about that, right? We had talk, and I just thought about, I think it's time to start that project. Good. Central Asia and world relation, and we're gonna try to learn the region more deeply. And this is the start. This is the start of the project, and this is the giving the idea. So we have a region. We have a most important region inside on the middle of the geopolitical changing, and from the north to the south, east, west. So we have a lot of things going on.
At the crossroads of
exactly,
geopolitics.
Exactly. We are on the crossroads, you know. Good. So this is the thing. And yeah, that was the first starting of the project.
And I think this is especially critical because it's an area that's often understudied or sometimes flat out ignored in favor of
there we go.
the rising of East Asia, the long-standing dominance of the Western world.
Yeah.
So I think this is a very timely topic.
And I also think about that because it's, especially now, what happened, like a conflict in the Russian-Ukraine conflict, specifically right after that, everything I think started to give more attention to the Central Asian region, right? So everybody looking for Central Asia, like what's going on there? What's happening? Why it's now? Why everybody taking like a more care or want to be care, or they're trying to think about, okay, like a like high, what is they stakeholders? They're talking about, okay, there is a Central Asia and we need to go and talk and to see the try to be more closer with the region. I think they're trying to be, because recently the C5+1, I don't know if you heard about that. The C5+1 is like a format, like making the powerful countries, like the global power countries. They're trying to put more meaning with them, like a C5+1. I think the Central Asia, the 5 countries, like from Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Kyrgyzstan. They mostly they are having every month one meeting with the different hegemons, like a big power countries. I think I remember like the C5+1 meeting happened with the Japan. So Japan started that format meeting with the Central Asia, and then the Russia continued, India, and then European Union, and then I think we had 2 times just recently. I think 2 times under Biden administration. It happened 2 times already. So he already met with the Central Asia region 2 times in the meetings. So in that case, so by the way, the next meeting they're planning with the UK individually planning to meet with the Central Asia region and talk about. So I think a lot of stuff is going on around, and the regionally a lot big hegemonic countries, they're trying to put more effort and more attention for the Central Asia specifically. And I think they want to give more focus in the Central Asia to help them to grow, to become more resistant, or to, I don't know,
self-sufficient, independent,
more independent geopolitically, because from the north we have Russia, from the south we have Iran or India, from the west, from the east we have China, and then the west coast is, from the west is Turkey or the Europe. So the Turkey is, of course, is our brother country. So we have a historically like connection, and with the language and with the religiously and like an ethnic, we're one family with the Turkey people. So in that case, we have a rising, maybe, I'm not gonna say a threat, but at the same time, Central Asia also need to think about themselves. The region should, in my opinion, the region also should grow and rise with the power, with the military, with the other section, economically, environmentally, like health, everything, climate. I think this is the point what like a country is putting into to help to Central Asia to grow faster and be more secure around the border, like hegemon countries. That's why we're coming on the topic, like year by year, like little by little, step by step, the region is going to more and more under everybody's eyes. Like they're going to like on the first row of the stage, right? So I think this is the reason that why we're starting to this project specifically, like about the Central Asia, and putting their ideas in the front and giving them more, hey, like this is Central Asia, and this region not just come out of like a name with the post-Soviet countries. No. Again, let me repeat that. We're not just come out after Soviet countries. Like we're not just post-Soviet countries. We have long way more background history. We were in the Soviet countries. We were included just, let's say, 70 years. But before that, yeah, there was like a 35 years under Tsarist Russia. But right. we weren't under them also. We weren't colonized fully. Right when the Lenin or the 1970, when they did the revolution and when the Bolsheviks got the on the government, and then they started to make the Soviet countries and then Soviet Union, and then they make all the other things. So one of the main goal also to open up that we're not just like a post-Soviet country. We also have more way back history than.
There's much more to Central Asia than just that post-Soviet sphere. And
yeah,
maybe a lot of people don't realize that.
I think a lot of people forgot about that. Because all the works, all the scientific papers, all the things, all the research works, we didn't write our history also. The world know our history based on what Soviets write. This is all the materials of them, how they look to us. This is not our history. What we are doing is, we got the independent, right? We got the last like 30 years, and all the scientists, all the scholars, what they're trying to do is they're just opening up and getting back real history and show to the world, hey, this is the real history. All the materials, all the published, like a scientific, doesn't matter, books, history, articles, all the things made by Russians might not be trustable because they might be more sensitive and more biased to those times countries. I mean, government, local political, pressure. So this is the thing. This is what we want to give the world. This is, of course, we are just small, tiny group here, but still we have our voice and we have to show our message to the world. So that's gonna be our message. That's gonna be our work.
So now is the time not only for Central Asia to take a bigger place on the global sphere, but to also shine light on who they are historically beyond just what people know at this point, or what people seem to have forgotten.
Yeah.
And to have a say in their own destiny, in their own context, that they have been prohibited from expressing due to these historical trends.
Yeah, that's totally correct. That's totally correct. And what you're saying, like, we just, like, you wrap up the topic what I'm talking about just recently. So that was great, and I really like it. Yeah.
I think our audience is going to find that very insightful and very helpful to understand the context of this project. Tell me more about the presentation and the style of this project. How do you plan on delivering this information to the audience?
Yeah, so what we're planning to do is we're gonna bring our fellows, our mates, to our project as a podcast vision. So we're gonna make the discussions. We're gonna make simple discussions, and we're gonna bring up the local fellows, local students, and our friends, mates, everybody. So we're gonna make the discussions, and then I think during the podcast we try to bring up at least a couple of questions about what our fellows know about the Central Asia, right? This is kind of small research questions gonna be inside the podcast. But the main point also, what I want to do is double work at the same time. So the project is also gonna try to open up to the audience of here about the Central Asia. At the second point is vice versa. The Central Asian audience, like a students, masters, bachelors, or schools, high school, elementary school, whatever, whoever wants and interested to come to US and study here. And I just want to show them what type of or what kind of students studying here, what their background, how they come to until this stage, like what they did, how they deserve the talk. So this is the thing that putting two goals in the same project, to giving this audience explanation, understand, and then open up all the thing about the Central Asia, not only Uzbekistan, the full around the region, and the same time to bring back the local audience to the US. So we're gonna work both sides. We're gonna make the target and here and there, and I think we can talk about I think we will build the bridge. We will build the bridge from here to the Central Asia, US, Central Asia. We're gonna build the bridge and we will open up everything, whatever we can do, but scientifically. Like scientifically, because we are already half scientists, right? So we are here, we are graduate students, we're doing our master's work here, we're studying intensive programs, we're trying to almost, let me say this word, surviving. So in that case, I think the main point would be like that. Build a bridge, introduce to both sides into each other, be in the middle, and discuss around the world all the geopolitical events and their effects specifically to region of the Central Asia.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
This is a very well thought out and well developed project that you have here. Now, one thing that comes to mind is that with something as ambitious as this, you mentioned the two-way bridge that you're trying to build. What are some challenges that you are anticipating in this project? If any. Do you anticipate any issues regarding the communication? Because we will have an audience both here and abroad.
Yeah.
So will there perhaps be any issues with language, a language barrier, a cultural barrier?
Yeah, so that would be the one challenge, because we're gonna use the English. We're not gonna use the other languages here. So English I don't think for here audience wouldn't be any problem with the language barrier, but we have a problem to the other audience language barrier. But I think we can bring on board whoever can speak English. Right. I think we're gonna try to get the attention of those students who does speak English. I think this is the one challenge might be, but this is 21st century. We can use the technology. We can use the AI. Put on the bottom like a transcript. Subtitles like in the Russian or in the like a different languages, like my own Uzbek language.
Good.
In that case, we can bring easily all the sides without even language barrier. So we can just solve this issue in this case.
Of course, any sort of program like this has its potential difficulties, but nothing that can't be overcome.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that we can address these moving forward.
Yeah.
And now I'm curious about the time span of this program. How will you address this on the short, medium, and long term? Or how do you view this project as a whole moving forward into the future?
I think we are starting more importantly thing like let's say the end of this project will be research center, like think tanks.
Good.
What they're doing
here at the university or anywhere.
I don't think we can connect ourselves here at the university, but for now we're here, right? So for now we're here. We're gonna use our opportunity to be connected here. That would be the one case, yes. On the other hand, I think we are going to build the building from the bottom to the up, making the think tanks, research, like analysis companies, like NGOs or anything like that. That would be the one thing.
And that's more of a long-term project.
That is the end of this project.
The end goal.
Because in this case, what we're starting to do is we just trying to talk, right? We're trying to communicate. We're trying to do some research. We're trying to give us our message, our point of view, our background, our worldview on the things, what's going on, what's happening. And then at the same time, we're going to try to connect the history at the same time. Not like a written from somebody like a pseudo-scientist. We're going to try to bring up like a real scientific articles, and we're going to try to talk about that. So at the same time, we're connecting a lot of like parallels together, a lot of lines together. In that case, if we work scientifically and we communicate on that, and then we bring a lot of like smart people on the board and talk with them and have some like sharing ideas each other, like I think this is the most short-term goal, mid-term goal, and then long-term goal. I think like
Right.
that. Yeah.
Well, this is a very exciting opportunity. I look forward to hearing more about it. And for now, I want to leave you off with this question, and that is, how do you view Central Asia and how it will develop in the near future? Do you think Central Asia has a potential to become a world potential, a world hegemon?
Let me tell you something here. Now, at the moment, US or Japan or China, they're leading technologically, they're leading innovatively, they're leading scientifically. But let me tell you something. Give me some times. Give me some times. When I said give me, not give me like a give us, right? Give Central Asia sometimes. I think we're gonna take over scientifically and technologically soon. Because I think we started the third Renaissance. So the third round of the Renaissance. You know who started the first Renaissance?
I believe it was the Italians, right?
You know the Golden Islam Age?
Right. Right. In during the time of the Caliphate, 10th, 11th century.
There you go.
Right.
So that is the first. You know the second time? That is when, again, our ancestors from Central Asia who came out and learned the stars and everybody, for example, Mirza Ulugh, he learned the skies, the stars. So if we say that that would be the second Renaissance and the third is coming. I think next 10 years we will see a lot of things gonna happen from the Central Asia region. I think we're gonna hear a lot of information, a lot of news, a lot of new comings stuff from Central Asia.
Very exciting.
That would be my answer.
Very exciting. And no doubt, this group, Central Asia and World Relations, will play a big part in it. We hope.
Yeah, I hope too. I hope too.
And we'll see how Central Asia is able to put a foothold on the global sphere in its innovation and soon to be greater scope in this dynamic.
So I think this is also one of the main goals. What we're gonna do, what we wanna do, what we wanna say, what is our message. Yeah, I think this is the all. This is the thing that what we're thinking about. And this is the time to speak up. I think times is come up. We can do it, right? So we will do it.
All that is left to be done is to speak it and to gather the audience, and the rest will fall accordingly, I think.
There you go.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah.
We'll pick this up later.
Yeah.